Previously on The Vibrant Couple. I just came upon a very interesting footage explaining the origins of the polarity. The movie talks about how God created polarity between man and woman as a way of helping them learn to better get along with each other. When asked which of his creations he was most proud of, God responded with deep emotion in his voice, the masculine-feminine polarity. Is it complete? Oh no, it is very much of a work in progress. I now need to find ways for men and women to get along and use it positively instead of hurting and controlling each other. I better get back to work. My name is Valdo Lallemand. I'm a relationship coach. I created The Vibrant Couple to further my mission of liberating love through connection and playfulness. Here is a link if you want to see the whole footage of that video. Today I want to debunk the myth that the grass is greener elsewhere. Especially in relationships, the grass is greener where you water it. So, what is a couple? Well, a couple is a very strange thing. You take two incompatible people and you put them together in a bag and you're hoping it makes gold. Not only are the two elements incompatible, they have their own reactivities. Somehow they clang with each other and fight with each other quite a bit. But in addition, the combination of the two is often explosive. You know, that masculine-feminine polarity that God was exploring in his workshop earlier. And then in addition, we add a number of stressors, you know, children and mortgage and jobs and stuff like that. So how is it even possible that we make gold out of it? Is that a sham? Is that a farce? You know, can people really make gold out of their relationship or their marriage? As you're watching that video, I make the assumption that you have some interest in romantic relationships, either to improve the ones that you're currently in or because you are longing for one that would be more satisfying than what you've experienced in the past. I have stumbled into and studied a number of different models on understanding relationships and how to make them work. Some of these models are very simple, some are very complex. In my view, they all boil down to three phases or three stages. First, we have the honeymoon phase in which we are very infatuated from each other. We cannot stay away from each other. We cannot refrain from putting our hands on each other. So this is wonderful. However, it is very clear with modern science that this is totally chemically induced. The honeymoon phase lasts anywhere from a few hours to a few months, maybe a year, year and a half, maybe two, but definitely no more because at some point those chemicals die down. We then enter a phase which is named the struggle or the power phase, in which basically conflicts erupt because we are learning to see that the other is indeed other. That struggle or power phase can last for years and years and years, and some couples never recover. However, some do and may enter the third stage, which is basically learning to get along. The key here in any of these models is the willingness to learn to get along and to make gold through the marriage or the relationship, whatever legal structure you have chosen for your relationship. As a relationship coach, I am exposed to a number of couples and I see their highs and their lows from a very intimate place. I have developed over the years a model that I call APP to assess couples, to have an idea of what is going on and how good a couple they are. This acronym stands for Aliveness, Partnership, and Passion. If you want to see more, you can watch a video I made on this a few months ago. In a nutshell, aliveness is how much juice is there in a relationship, how alive are they versus, being survivors like many couples are. Partnership is a combination of both the work they are doing on their relationship, on learning to get along, and the result of that work. I believe I do not need to dwell on passion. Well, I do agree with God that the masculine and feminine polarity plays a huge role in that endeavor, and I fully support God's explorations. So this first APP is about assessing couples. Now I created also a second APP for my work with couples. It is key to learn to appreciate and actually even develop a devotional attitude towards each other in a couple. I believe that appreciation is not just about the good stuff, it's also about the pain points, about the conflicts, about the differences that seem irreconcilable. When we can appreciate them, it's a lot easier to work on them. The first P is playfulness. I have shared with you that my purpose is to liberate love through playfulness and connection. Basically, when both of us are relaxed and resourced and available and playful, let's play. However, often, due to a number of stressors, including the reactivities that we have with each other, the things that come from our childhood and developmental traumas, a number of other factors, and also sometimes just a lack of education, a lack of training, then the second P is for practice. I have shared in a previous video, here's the link if you're interested, that I'm a firm believer in chivalry. And in my last video from the Valdo's Voice series, here is the link. I have shared that I believe that the key is attuned chivalry. Okay, Valdo, I understand about attuned chivalry, but how do you want to teach that? This is also the question I'm pondering. So, how about I send some spies to see what God is cooking in his workshop? My spies came back with no recollection of what happened. I'm assuming God has a similar, like a red light, like in Men in Black. The camera had 8 pictures and really good audio, but the audio was in Latin, so I am recreating what I think did happen in God's workshop. God and his great benevolence were in their workshop working on that very intriguing but frustrating project of polarity. I believe that out of the 4 pictures, this is the one depicting God. And then we have 3 pictures that I believe depict benevolence, but I am not sure. Maybe this could be his daughters. Anyway, here is the translation of their dialogue.
My love, I sense something is troubling you. What is it?
Oh, benevolence, you are always so good at knowing when I am struggling.
My hunch is that it's about humans and your polarity project, isn't it?
I believe polarity can be good for them and could bring them closer to each other. So I am working on a commandment for them. Would you be willing to look at the 3 samples I made?
Of course.
Here is the first one. What do you think, benevolence? You are always much more intuitive than me about humans.
Not bad, but it looks a bit too much like a wedding invitation. Men may be resisting that.
I don't understand. Isn't he already married to her?
I know, I know.
Okay, how about that one?
Pretty good, but maybe a little bit too playful. Men may not take you seriously with this one.
How about that one?
Pretty good as well, but a little too Illuminati. You know, you have to be careful not to be associated with them.
Thanks for reminding me.
God goes back to his workshop and emerges a few hours later with a great sense of satisfaction.
I think this is the one. Any suggestions for improvement?
Nope, this is the one. Excellent work.
Thanks, my love.
So how do I translate that commandment into a usable material for a YouTube video? Thou shalt romance thy wife. Well, I started this video wanting to talk about the grass is greener where you water it. We talked about the most important ingredient in a couple being able to transform their relationship into gold, being their willingness to work on their relationship. So the work it takes to create a good relationship, I understand, creates good partnership. But how about aliveness? How about an effervescent passion? I wish I could jump in directly into playfulness, but the sense I have is that I need to spend time first on appreciation and practice. Thou shalt romance thy wife. You know, it feels a little old-fashioned. So how about maybe flirt? I like it, but I think that men need action. They need to do stuff. So I think flirting would be better. Flirting with your wife, I think, is a good start. Let's spiff that up a little bit. What I'm hearing from the women I work with is that most men are in the dark about flirting with them. And so how about I put that on a black background? Oh yeah, feels a lot better. How about I add my disco and salsa romance icon? I think this is a very good start for a new series of videos. How about I start with an introduction on the essential principles of flirting with one's wife? You know, I like that font. I think this is it. If you are curious about what I'm cooking, please hit the like button below and subscribe so you can be notified when I publish juicy content. I look forward to seeing you very soon.